Hey, good morning. It's 5:48 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Wednesday, March 11th. It is 1:18 p.m. in Tehran. The United States Central Command, CENTCOM, says U.S. forces have eliminated 16 Iranian mine-laying ships near the Strait of Hormuz. The UK Maritime Trade Operations says at least two vessels, a bulk carrier and a cargo ship, were hit by unknown projectiles, one near Dubai and the other in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran is estimated to still have over 90% of its mine-laying fleet, despite the loss of the 16 ships, 2,000 to 6,000 mines, and mobile land-based missile launchers capable of striking tankers and cargo vessels. Attacks continue on Tehran, with estimates that Trump and Netanyahu have struck more than 10,000 civilian sites as the death toll rises above 1,300. Iranian counterattacks also continue, with several Gulf states, including Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, reporting missile and drone interceptions in recent hours. Iranian forces are threatening to target economic centers and banks related to U.S. and Israeli entities in the region. The IRGC has suggested that Google and other tech companies in the Gulf region may also be legitimate targets, according to a report by the Tasnim news agency. Israel has intensified its attacks on Lebanon, killing more than 15 people today. A total of 780,000 human beings have registered as displaced since the start of the war, according to Lebanon's government. The Dubai media office says at least 4 people were injured after 2 drones fell in the vicinity of Dubai airport. The Iranian foreign minister is now calling this Operation Epic Mistake. May have nailed it. A senior fellow from the Middle East Institute said, right now you're starting to see the initial anger from some of the GCC, which is Gulf Cooperation Council, and other states towards Iran start to spread a little bit more towards Israel and the U.S., as all these countries are now really affected both physically and economically. Reports indicate that Israel issued warnings or alerts for civilians in areas around Qum province, specifically mentioning zones near the Fordow fuel enrichment plant. The Fordow site is a fortified underground nuclear facility. This may be for several reasons: to strike the facility itself, or to actually insert ground troops through an airborne operation to take the materials. I don't know where their brains are going or what they want to try to do. This is just something that has been passed around, so I figured I'd bring it up to you. A drone hit a major U.S. diplomatic facility in Iraq. There are no known casualties. The strike hit the Baghdad Diplomatic Support Center, a sprawling logistical hub for American diplomats near Iraqi military bases and the Baghdad airport, which have come under repeated attacks since the start of the U.S. offensive. A security official said the attack was likely carried out by pro-Tehran militias. Iraqi militias have attempted dozens of small-scale drone and rocket attacks since the war began, in a show of support for Tehran, including against a U.S. military base and a consulate in northern Iraq, as well as a State Department facility at the Baghdad International Airport. On Saturday, rockets targeted the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. The U.S. said Sunday it has been carrying out attacks against the militias in Iraq, acknowledging that the war in Iran is spilling over into its neighbor and drawing American forces back into a place where they spent years fighting insurgents and endured heavy casualties after the 2003 invasion that deposed Saddam Hussein. We currently have 2,500 troops in Iraq, mainly in an advisory role in the north in Erbil and in the west in Al-Sad, which is pretty remote. This just goes to tell you, this hasn't been at the forefront of a lot of the reporting, but there is a lot going on in Iraq right now as well, to include violent protests outside the U.S. Embassy. So again, the war continues to spread to its left and into neighboring Iraq. And finally, it appears that fractures are beginning to show in Europe's far-right movements, much like what's happening here in the United States, with some supporting the war and whatever Trump, wants to do, and others remembering that he campaigned on a no new wars period, along with other far-right politicians. And now they're worried about resulting immigration from refugees fleeing the war.